Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're looking at TIE Fighter, the 1994 DOS game that was the sequel to X-Wing. So, in case you're not aware of anything about Star Wars, and this really is the blind leading the blind in this case, the TIE Fighter ships are the ships of the Empire, the bad guys in the Star Wars universe, unless somebody wants to make the argument that actually the Rebels were the bad guys, which would be interesting, but they never really played with that at all as a concept. And frankly, I don't think Star Wars would have been a popular movie series if they had made some side stories showing it from a different perspective. So X-Wing plus its two expansions that were then added to the CD-ROM version of the collector's edition of X-Wing all came out. The original X-Wing and the two expansions all came out in 1993, so this is 1 year later, and 1 year later with what assumes one would have to assume be some level of success for its time, which led to it getting more funding. Honestly, though, I wouldn't be surprised if actually none of these Star Wars games from LucasArts really made any money, and it was just a blatant attempt to try and make it happen. For as often as you see, like, George Lucas re-release and remaster the original trilogy, there's just a tenacity there.
Signal Vice Admiral Thrawn to launch his TIE squadrons immediately.
Unlike X-Wing, I don't believe X-Wing had a introductory cutscene like this.
This rebel stronghold,
and now we have like a blue guy, which I guess he's an alien? Is that the male version of the blue stripper aliens we've seen in the movies? I'm not sure. But yeah, we've got a real intro here, and when we get into the actual game, we'll see some slight improvements. A main improvement you can hear right now is the audio is not blaring loud, because even though this is being run through a DOSBox emulator, it saves the files and reads the files correctly. So I don't know why the previous games didn't really seem to do that. That may very well have just been a flaw in the actual game. That was actually quite a lot of movement and animation there. So yeah, that gets you into the general idea of what this game will be. Of course, my last recording ended abruptly as the game, the remastered version, just crashed. It's possible that I caused it to crash inadvertently by telling it to use the hardware video card instead of the software video card settings, so I may have been at fault there. But honestly, the end result was the same as the X-Wing as a game series, regardless of even the remastered version. All seem to lean heavily on the player knowing what to do, either through an instruction sheet or a manual or something, and not what's actually in the game. And that was, I suppose, in the old days, the original form of copy protection, is make your game impossible to play unless somebody is willing to pay $5 or more in making a copy of the manual and then violating copyright because you're copyrighting the manual. Although I guess you're violating copyright when you're copying the floppy disk also, so who would care about that? It actually was a price thing. Like in the old days, when people didn't have scanners or printers, unlike the new days in 2019 when people don't have scanners or printers, you would have to go to like a library somewhere, a college library or a public library, and you would have to manually try to copy the entire manual, and that usually would cost somewhere around a nickel, a dime, or a quarter a page. and that would be so expensive it wouldn't be worth it. On top of that, if somebody saw you copying a manual, the entirety of a manual, they probably are going to look at you funny, possibly even report you to the police. So you have the same setup as before. It still knows I have a joystick plugged in, a gamepad. I think this is a realistic experience, though, to say that that would be, oops, my controller was not plugged in all the way. So actually it wasn't plugged in and it still brought up this screen. Interesting.
Enter your name, pilot.
So we have an improvement here. We're not getting any drag on the controller. There's a dead zone. So the programming is better this time. Maybe you do need to unplug and plug in the controller each time. We have a default top ace here, and apparently I was not actually in the window at that point, so I had to click on it. You can't go here or the stormtroopers will shoot you. Let's look at the escape to start off with. You have, compared to X-Wing, music, sound, and speech. There was no speech option to adjust that sound in X-Wing, and the speech was very loud. You can turn on subtitles and transitions like before. You can change the difficulty. Apparently, from the menu now, you can look at your medals and your record, and you can save your game, and you can quit to DOS, all in the same point. So that is interesting. Why there's these top A save files in here, I don't know. But let's see. There are several pages here of medallions that are a lot more zoomed in, which if you're going to get medals, you would like to look at them. Although they don't look as nice as the previous game. Maybe I'm thinking of the remaster. And then see, this backup button would be a way of, I suppose, making a copy. Alright, so we're not gonna, you wouldn't want to play that though, I don't think. So let's just start normal and then hit escape and then turn it back to easy, and then let's hop in here and look at the game. So it's still the same idea. You get a scene. Over here is the film room. Over here is the tech room. Here's a new battle. Here's a training simulator. Here's where we came from. Here's a combat simulator. So it does seem like there is at least a couple of different things here. Let's start with the film room, I guess. There's nothing to see here because we don't have any saved files. So that's nothing. Here's the 3D models. They look slightly better than X-Wing, but this is about 1 year's worth of progress. Like, the technology itself would not really have changed much in this time. This is a weird way for it to spin too. So you really can't imagine much, but compared to X-Wing, you're not getting a flat 2D schematic, you're getting a 3D model, and it doesn't seem like it's actually pointing to any of the internal components of the ship, so that tells me more than likely in X-Wing you weren't actually able to target parts of a ship and destroy, say, a shield or anything like that, which is not really surprising, honestly. That makes a lot of sense. So the first thing we should do is do the training simulator, which apparently is a real simulator. This training course consists of circular track filled with targets and obstacles. Targets appear as multicolored pyramids and yellow spheres. Already I'm getting more instruction than before. I'm not getting as much talking, though, as sort of CD version or the remastered version, but I imagine when we play the CD version and remastered version of this. Alright. So what can we do? We could change ships. Reach the end of the level before times come out. And it seems like there's just 3 levels of the training. And you can exit the simulator this way, or you can fly the obstacle course. So, let's try this. This looks different by a lot. Alright, first of all, I'm using the joystick and I have real control here. Let's see what the buttons do. Well, first of all, trying to shoot that target was really hard. And the shooting sound effect is really loud. Everything has gotten really loud. Alright, so B on the Xbox One controller is doing nothing, it seems like. Jeez. This is still not really adjustable in sensitivity. X is doing nothing, Y does this. I'm not seeing anything that seems like it would change anything else. Like, clearly the back and regular buttons aren't going to do anything. Seems like the blue changed my firing style. So now we went to level 2. Instead of it being an 8-minute game, it is much more reasonable. This is actually playable. Let's see. Now the mouse doesn't seem like it really wants to work right now. I just pressed it and it didn't seem to move. Oh man, I'm out of bullets. And this still feels like a case of you've got to reload your bullets somehow. Wow, I just crashed into it. I'm just gonna... Where's the run out of time? I have like 3 minutes. Alright, so the mouse sensitivity is nothing. Like, it's really, really unsensitive. Like, I'm moving the mouse all the way over a pretty large mouse pad to swing from this point to this point. We're gonna have to find a button. So 1 does that, 2 does that, 3 does that, 4 does that, 5 does that, 6, 7, 8. So that's some kind of camera system. Q is to quit. Let's see. Laser cannons armed with W. E does nothing, R does nothing, A does nothing, S. S doesn't have a shield system. It seems like the buttons are kind of the same. Replay camera on, replay camera off with C, T, R, I. Component tracking on command display turned off. Now the map in the 2 areas are still like not really good indicators. P. Alright, so the brackets, lesser brackets means you can throttle, and let's see, apparently throttle set to 1/3 is the fastest speeding, I guess. throttle set to no power is the slowest. So it's open bracket, close bracket, and then backslash on the keyboard. Let's see. Semicolon and apostrophe does nothing here. M is not bringing up a map. N is not doing anything. B and V is apparently video. And then I guess back to P. Or maybe E. E to exit that, that's kind of questionable. Tab's not doing anything, shift's not doing anything, cap's not doing anything, control's not doing anything, X. Like, I just exhausted my laser fire somehow. Yeah, and it's not the number pad. It's not the W, the arrow keys. Could this really be like the delete or the home key? F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, escape. Like, so we've got some different flight options here, but the mouse is not coming up, so I'd have to see if there's something here. I kind of don't want to change any of these settings. In-flight sound effect volume is... Why would I be able to change that in the menu and then it have it be something completely different in a completely different setting? Alright. Do you want to view your flight recorder data? Let's say yes. Okay. This is a slight improvement. This is starting to feel like the original Star Fox game, which doesn't really feel like something you'd want to play. Unfortunately, this is only partial controller support. Like, we didn't do too bad that time. We did a lot better than we did with X-Wing. But it really is just partial controller support. Either that or you're just always supposed to run out of bullets after what I would consider a ridiculously small amount of time. This is unrealistic. So I imagine this is just a tutorial. In this mission you learn the basic targeting, aiming, and destroying fixed targets. So can we actually play this? Alpha 1, don't touch anything until I tell you to. There's no voice acting. Press the T to target the container in front of you. Hit the T to target will turn yellow to indicate it's the current target. So this is why I couldn't shoot anything. The targeting box will turn green to indicate a good shot. Fire it will to destroy target 1. It should take 8 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Target destroyed.
Okay. Press T to target the next container. And I didn't even watch it explode. Press the G key to see right in front of you. Or the 9 key, press 8 to view and check your bracketed target. Steer craft right toward the bracketed target. Line your target.
Target destroyed.
Alright, let's just ignore the rest of the instructions. Oh, you have to press F9 to reset.
Excellent work, Alpha 1. Target destroyed.
There's the training pilot. Friendly fire not enabled. The fact that it takes 8 shots to kill what are target drones is ridiculous. This clearly should have been a much shorter. It takes 3 shots to hit him. Like, there's no need for that. The space area here looks a lot better, and just not flying in circles certainly helps. Let's see if we can face our guy. Yeah. So the one in the top left is the direction you can see, and press the R key equals nearest enemy. To match speed, press with the target, press enter. Interesting. So I'm now speeding up towards this moving target. But compared to X-Wing, every time I played X-Wing I could not see any other ships, I couldn't see anything, I just flew out of the range of everything immediately. This is very much like a sci-fi fictional flight sim game. It's forcing some things certainly that you wouldn't really want in a game unless you were an astronaut training to actually fly in some kind of futuristic space fighting ship. Otherwise, it has this fictional connection to a fictional reality. Like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I can figure this out now. At least I'm not feeling like a complete and total idiot. Look at that. I'm actually playing a video game. Then we have mover 3. Could just try and crash into that. Should be somewhere over here. And I don't even have to shoot unless it's green. Look at that. I'm actually playing a game and doing it right. So, what am I learning from this is that I really should, if you are going to try and get into this game and you don't have a ton of nostalgia for this, or if you never played them before, start with the TIE Fighter series, because that's somewhat playable. Half controller support, I would say. You're going to end up with a keyboard in your lap. Let's see if we can maybe match our speed with this guy so we can hit him a little bit easier. So it's R, and then look in the map to see where it is, and then enter to match the speed. And keep him in the center of your screen. As much as possible, and then look for the green. So you're doing leading shots.
Secondary objectives completed.
Look at that. I finished an entire simulation. And I now know how to reload my lasers too. So what am I supposed to do now? New craft alert. Headhunter. It's a fighter one. Alright, what if we would have hit escape right now? What if we would have hit H? Okay. So I'm gonna target the training area and see if maybe spacebar lands on it. Let's see. Matching speed with something that's not moving is probably a stupid idea. 1/3 power. Yeah, I don't know how you set the engine throttle to 100% power. That's the key I'm not seeing. Well, it seems like I can actually shoot the training facility. And apparently they decided to shoot back. Well, I guess that one was easy enough. So yeah. Apparently there would have been only 2 more of those anyways. Alright, well this looks playable. Let's see. Question 1 of 2. Next page. So let's try an actual level. Now, there aren't any expansions in this, so this is just the basic game. So, join the battle. Over here we have intermission. And I guess you could talk to the flight officer? Wow. Interesting. You have like almost a point and click adventure communication you can have there if you want it. Alright. So. Transports requesting permission to pass through the sector. This would have been a lot better of an experience, frankly, if it was talking to me, though. Like, this is kind of silly. All these ships are behind me. So we have Pilot 1, and it feels like I could just shoot this guy if I wanted to. But am I supposed to be shooting him? Or are there other missions? So that's one ship, it's just dead in the water. There's another ship over here. I'll just move faster here. I feel like this game moves a little bit faster too. Hitting the same key multiple times does not do anything. This is just freight. So, like, what is the mission? I guess I didn't bother to ask, so... So, of course, the game is not being too interested in telling me. So we've got a trainer. It doesn't seem like I can hit that. Navigation buoys. There's actually things here. And I doubt I'm supposed to just shoot everything. We have TIE Fighter Beta 1. This one has 0 shield on him. Well, 2/3 power does make you go faster, but no power doesn't. So clearly there's like a key that is missing on my keyboard that's supposed to be in between closing brackets and backslash. I have no idea what that key would have been. And see, like, I just flew right by those items and that didn't matter at all. So it's just transports are weakening the freighter's shields. So we failed and we crashed. 100% of the transport group data was not inspected. 100% of the freighter group only must be inspected. So secondary goal freighter only must be captured. So there was some button here, and I have no idea what it is. Ooh, we get a little transition here. It's showing you lost and you died. There's clearly some button to inspect things. So we can fly the mission again. We can talk to the flight officer, or we can return to the briefing. Let's see what he has to say. Let's see, debrief me on the mission. So that's page 2. Avoid any dogfighting during the inspections. Slow your craft down and be extra careful to avoid colliding with the large freighters. Your small TIE fighter cannot survive that type of collision. So, you click on the same line of dialogue over and over again to get it. So apparently I just needed to slow down in that area. Well, I don't know how many levels there are. That's the kind of the thing here I guess I would want to find out is, let's look at this and get a general idea of how many missions were in this. This top A save file has like 1,260,000 points on level medium. We hit escape and we look at his medals. Let's see, it seems like you get a training certificate for 6 out of 7 vehicles. Seems like there's one still to do. Maybe that is the end of the game. There's a gold combat medal for doing something. For different types of planes. So, Battle 1 Medal of Redemption. All secondary goals completed in 5 missions of Battle 1. And the 6 missions of Battle 1. So it seems like the battles go really long. All 4 missions of Battle 2. All 5 missions of Battle 2. Interesting. 4 missions of Battle 3. 5 missions of Battle 3. Interesting. 3 missions Battle 4. 2 missions of Battle 4. I don't know how you can... Battle 4 can both have 3 missions and 2 missions in the same... I guess these are bonus goals and these are secondary goals, and then you probably get this for just doing the primary goals in Battle 4. Okay. So there's a 5th battle, 6th battle, 7th battle, and then that's it. So, not too much of a game here, but I could see actually playing this one. I'm not going to. It still comes right back down to this game is really old, and it's a Star Wars game. Maybe if the remastered version runs well, knowing that a remastered version already exists for this, like, it really makes it impossible to want to play this original version of the game. Even if I had nostalgia for this, I still think if the remaster runs, it probably runs better. I do want to applaud TIE Fighter of improving the major problem of the first games, which was the joystick just not working and the game not telling me what to do. Here, if I read what the instructions are, it seems like I can actually figure it out what to do. This still is a mile away from a modern video game where you would just press start and you'd be in a dogfight and you would have somebody talking over your shoulder telling you exactly what to do, and it'd be impossible to fail or close to impossible to fail. And I'm still not sure this is really a game you would want to play. For all these space fly around and shoot games that exist these days, very few of them require you to have a keyboard on top of a joystick and require you to target things and recharge your lasers. That's closer to a flight simulator. Maybe you could say Kerbal Space Program is somewhat like that, but even then, Kerbal Space Program is a lot more reasonable, I think, than this is with its controls. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording, this little spotlight. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.